In the late 1970s, a shadowy network began to quietly weave its way in the fabric of Los Angeles. It wasn't a group that you would see making headlines with shootouts and flashy crimes. Instead, they operated under the radar. Their weapon of choice, not guns and knives, but paperwork. They called themselves the Paper Mafia, a loosely organized group of Hungarian immigrants who had fled the communist regime in Hungary only to find a new playground in the sprawling cityscape of LA. Now, before I get too deep into this, let me just say that for the sake of the story, the names have been changed to protect, well, mostly me from any angry relatives. So if you hear about a guy named Johnny Paperclip or Frankie Stapler, just know these aren't their real names. It all started when a group of Hungarians, disillusioned by the oppression back home, made their way to the United States, seeking the freedom and opportunities they'd been denied. Among them were individuals like Johnny Paperclip, a former weightlifter turned street-smart hustler, and his close associate, Frankie Stapler, known for his quick temper and even quicker fists. The two had moved to LA from New Brunswick, New Jersey, in search of the American dream. But instead of legitimate work, they saw a city ripe for exploitation. Johnny and Frankie weren't alone. They were soon joined by others from their Hungarian community, creating a close-knit network operating in the shadows. They set up seamlessly legitimate businesses, like an office supply store near Hollywood that acted as a front for their more nefarious activities. The store wasn't just about selling office supply equipment. Oh no, it was a cover for a range of scams, including fraudulent insurance claims and elaborate cons designed to fleece unsuspecting customers and companies. One of their favorite tricks was the fake car accident. They would stage accidents, often involving luxury cars that they had insured to the hilt. The drivers, sometimes even the passengers, were all in on it. They would feign injuries, often with the help of Hungarian doctors who was part of the network, and then filed inflated insurance claims. The payouts were huge, and the schemes were so well organized that they went undetected for years. Their operations were so quiet, so under the radar, that they barely attracted the attention of law enforcement. This was by design. The Paper Mafia knew that as long as they kept things small and localized, they could continue their operations without interference. They avoided the flashy violence that brought down other criminal organizations, preferring instead to keep things clean, calculated, and very profitable. But their activities weren't without risk. The tension among members sometimes led to violent confrontations. One such incident occurred with Billy Binder, a newcomer to the group, got into a deadly altercation with Frankie Stapler. The two had been partying in Frankie's Hollywood apartment when the dispute broke out. Frankie, high on life, and maybe a few other things, pulled a gun on Billy. In the split of a second, Billy shot first, killing Frankie in what he later claimed was self-defense. The incident rattled the group, but Billy walked away a free man, thanks to the testimony of witnesses and a well-paid lawyer who ensured that the story was spun in Billy's favor. Despite this hiccup, their scams growing bolder as they grew more confident. But by the mid-80s, law enforcement started catching on. Investigations were launched and slowly the network began to unravel. Johnny Paperclip, sensing the heat, eventually fled the country, leaving behind a legacy of crime that had quietly infiltrated the city's underbelly. Again, the Paper Mafia never reached the notoriety of other crime families, but their impact was felt in the Hungarian community and beyond. They proved that crime doesn't always have to be loud to be effective. Sometimes the most dangerous criminals are the ones who blend in, using their wit and the system itself to pull out their schemes. And that's why I'm sharing this story for you today, because it's a piece of LA history that deserves to be told. The Paper Mafia might not be a household name, but their methods were clever and their impact was real. Plus, with all of this happening right where I'm from, I just feel like the story is worth exploring. Maybe there's more out there waiting to be uncovered. If there is, I hope this story sparks that curiosity.